Coming soon on social medias, it's S-Class.
Of Ziloko, my friend.
So what's the level? Like a bottle of chibuku?
Like a bucket.
To my nature, I criticize on social media. Yeah, I think I'm good at that when it comes to social media. That's why I really like spending most of my time in social media.
Buli lwenywa kunjaga eyo naye mba sirina ssente ntulaali n'endowooza.
Coming. Oh, definitely our viewers, welcome back to S-Class. Like I told you yesterday, we are at Outer Africana on an event which has been organized by UNIPA, which is Y Plus Summit, which happens annually. And today on the panel, we have 3 young people who are going to basically tell us about the event, from the day one up to today, how they see the event, what has been their best session in the event. So we're going to start from my right hand side. Please introduce yourself and tell us which organization you're coming from. Okay. Yep.
Hi, S-Class viewers. My name is Bridget Kezabu. I'm from Uganda Youth and Adolescents Health Forum.
Hello everyone, good afternoon to you. My name is Namanja Shirt and I'm from Malmö, Uganda. I'm very happy to share with you all.
Hello, my name is Yazu Zain. Mr. Y Plus 2017-2018. I work with Sexual Care Services. I work with Sexual Reproductive Health and Rights Alliance in Uganda. I sit on the Youth Advisory Committee of the Alliance, but I'm an ambassador for Uganda. Thank you.
So, nice to meet you all. So today you're going to talk about the entire event. From the time that you've been here today, from day one up to today, what have you learned from the entire session? Come to you.
Thank you very much. I came in a little bit late. I came yesterday night at some work finish at office, but today's session, in the morning workshop, I've come to realize that in advocacy you need to brand yourself by a specific issue. You need to be known by a specific area. People need to recognize you in a specific space or issue that if anyone needs anything, they can reach you. Easily reach you in that capacity.
So far I was here since yesterday morning. So basically from the whole session, from yesterday up to right now, I've learned that most times we focus more on our weaknesses, yet they don't matter. But what actually matters is our strengths. We as young people living with HIV don't really focus on that, and most of the times we're like, I can't do this, I can't do that. And instead of having a positive attitude, we have that negative attitude. And we were also told by one of our facilitators yesterday that we are supposed to focus on our talents too. We all have different talents. My talent may not be the same as yours, but you can help me in the field where you're active, and I can also help you in the field where I'm active. Today we learned about media platforms and advocacy, and we were told that most times we're going to have that one person who will object, but they're not doing it because they want to get something out of you or they want you to get annoyed, but most times they do it because they have either a different opinion or they just want to learn more, but they're still trying to find a way for you to teach that to them. And we are not supposed to approach them in a bad way or tell them off, but we're supposed to teach them the way we want them to learn. Yes, basically that's all.
Yeah. When it comes to Bridget, like you had a session on universal health coverage, and that has been presented by UWAF. Like, what have you guys so far done when it comes to universal health coverage?
As UWAF, we've been carrying out a lot of researches when it comes to youth friendliness in health services. This research is to help us gather enough data that can be a source of evidence to the Ministry of Health as they make their decisions. So we are happy that we've been able to at least reach about 5 districts in our research in youth friendliness, and we hope to continue fighting for the rights of young people. And maybe something else I've learned about the summit, since they were all going through it, is that I learned that music is a powerful tool. Yes, it brings people together, it communicates, and I just love the fact that there are songs for the Y plus band that actually communicate a message, and everyone was cheered up in the audience.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
When it comes to you, do you think young people are supposed to be like, it's good for them to be involved in such summit?
Yeah, the first thing we need to look at is exposure. Now, may I work in communities of Karamoja, communities of deep down in Musoma. When you get such a child or such a young person and bring him to this platform, believe me, that person is not going to stay the same. And the impact is carrying back to the community. You just can't imagine if this young person has been attached to a housing facility and he has been working not knowing any policy that is guides the service delivery for young people, but now he comes here and is exposed. Do you think if he has been or she has been being limited, do you think it's going to stay the same?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So sure, we young people need such platform. More so young people who are not exposed. They need that exposure and that networking. And when it comes to young people living with HIV, it's different again. It's a different game. So young people in communities, deep down in the community, they think they are alone. That self-stigma still exists there. But when you come in such a place where there are so many young people living with HIV, some of them are working, some of them are beautiful. You cannot imagine. We have seen many ending up instead of getting girls, they end up on animals, what. They think, for me, I cannot even get a girlfriend. How will I get? How will I? Girls end up killing themselves. Guys end up jumping into any man without saying even their HIV status. But because they think no one can do what, but when they come to this platform, it gives them a more wider focus of view. They think, yeah, there is a lot I can do with my life. If I told this person, you come here, you find the answer. Tells you, I'm working with this, I'm working with this, I'm working with this. I've been at this platform. So you get motivated. That motivation.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Then Shilat, how hard was it for you to come out and say you have HIV, like a person of your age? It's very hard, trust me, to come out and say, you know what, I'm Shilat, I have HIV positive, man, that takes like a very big heart. How hard was it for you and how easy was it for you?
There is nothing easy about it. It's actually really hard. But most of the cases, the way I want to look at stuff is from a perspective where it makes me happy. So me telling everyone else that I was HIV positive, I first based on who is behind me, who is going to be there to support me once they start discriminating me or stigmatizing me. And I looked at everyone and I knew I had the whole community of people who are HIV positive. And I knew I wasn't standing alone. But it could be hard, very hard, because the moment I told most of the people, most of my peers, everyone started to treat me in a different way. So it was mostly the girls who are like, oh, sure, are you sure you're fine? And I told them, I'm fine, but if you ever need to learn anything from me, I'll be very happy to share. But it was very, very small amount of boys who came out to me and were like, sure, we support you. We'll always listen to you if you have a problem. But the large amount, they were all like, Kala, you're beautiful. We didn't even expect that. And my mom told me that you should believe in what you want. You should believe in what you perceive, what you want to be perceived as, and not what others want to see you as. Because she's the kind of person who always tells you, I want you to choose something from the heart. I love to sing. I really express myself through singing. So me telling them I was HIV positive, and they would always come at me most of the times in class, I would just sing it off. I would sing it off most of the times. And I knew I had background because other people too were interested. Others have at least a little bit of knowledge, because most of the times we focus more on we who are HIV positive, and we forget that there are others who are negative that want to know more, that also are also interested in how we live our lives, what affects us, what are the effects of the drugs we take, and all that comes with us.
So much. Then, Bridget, when it comes to you, do you think young people who are negative and those who are positive need to be in the same environment?
Yes, of course. I mean, being positive doesn't mean that you should be isolated, that you're someone who shouldn't be in society. I mean, just being like this doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to get HIV. No. So the two groups, whether negative or positive, need to be together. Actually, they need to interact more to learn from one another and to be able to share and to also know if you're negative and maybe you turn positive, you get inspired knowing I know people who have lived positive and have lived a successful life. Yes, so it's very unfortunate when you find young people who have committed suicide because of being positive. Yet we have a lot of people who have lived a positive life and a successful one. So young people out there, I commend UNIPA for putting such a platform, and for even all those young brave people who come out and say I'm positive and live positive. It's possible, and there's a lot that can be achieved. Yeah.
When it comes to years, what are some of the myths and misconceptions that people have towards HIV?
Of course, myths are very many. We'll start by people up to now. People fail to believe that I cannot share a plate with someone who is HIV positive, and I don't have HIV. So people think up to now that if we share utensils at home, we share clothes, people get HIV. Recently, I was in the last 2 weeks, we were trying to formulate groups of young people in the HIV at the district levels. But the stories young people could tell that up to now, people are failing even to associate with them. Things we hear in Kampala, things we look at as cheap, but deep down in the community, people are failing to associate. Let us move away from that. We have the other stigma, the gender stigma. People have failed to understand that when I'm HIV positive, I can do more than any other person. People up to now are being discriminated from job. You go for work, they tell you, you know what? The moment you say I'm HIV positive, they'll tell you, okay, we shall call you. But no one is going to call you. Let us come back to relationships. People have failed to understand that even when I'm HIV positive, I have a feeling. You understand? I have feelings. I'm more like any other person. And HIV has changed. People don't even agree up to now that a positive mother can produce a negative baby.
Yeah.
People don't agree to that. And now when we tell them that now a positive man can have sex with a negative partner without protection and doesn't transmit, still they don't. In other words, there are so many misconceptions that are still happening these days.
So, then share, what would you like to tell us about the theme of the summit, which is saying changing the narratives? What comes in your mind when you hear that, changing the narratives?
When I first heard the theme of changing the narratives of young people living with HIV, the first thing that came to my mind, oh my God, it's really happening, finally. Because we as young people living with HIV also happen to have different narratives too. And you may find someone, you're both positive, and you actually tell them, can you talk to someone, like exposure, you expose yourself to someone, you tell them you're HIV positive, and they'll tell you, me, do all that, no. And then these kinds of people, they've been born with HIV, and then they'll tell you, me, I can't stand in front of a camera, talk about myself. I know. Just me appearing on screen and someone is saying, these other people in the background are all HIV positive, and he or she sees his picture there, he will start hiding himself or herself. And when that theme actually helps us change our narratives too towards the negative people, because sometimes we look at those people who are negative and some of us admire, others are envious, others are jealous. And they're like, I can't have a negative friend, I can't have a negative partner. But through this, we're actually learning that we're being added on the information that we have, that nothing else really matters apart from what God actually has in plan for you. So it's all about us empowering each other and helping out each other, support ourselves and our fellow peers, such that we can make this thing happen.
Yeah, in other words, a little addition. This is a two-way thing when we talk about changing the narratives. I know it's a stigma we have two. There is external and internal. And often young people in the experience that what? Internal stigma. You feel like you're worthless, you cannot do anything. So we are combining all this. But stop. Now it's time to change how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself. You need to change away from all those negativity about yourself. And then the society also has to play a role by changing the negativities. Now look at this. This has been organized by young people. Have you looked at the committee that has organized? These are young people living in such a... But if they are able to organize such a colorful movement, what should we need in them? Why should we not give them opportunities and opportunities? Yeah.
Indeed, the sky is the limit.
No, it's the beginning.
Of the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then, Bridget, do you think government has done enough to sensitize people when it comes to HIV?
Such a question is a tricky one. Yeah, it's a tricky one. But I think they're doing their best to really sensitize. But like any other country, the government always needs support from partners to help make the conversation of HIV even to normalize it. Yes, so with the support from partners and the Ministry of Health itself, I think if we keep working towards normalizing the conversation, I think we are getting there. And then also things like celebrities when they come out, because they're also those key people who play key roles in normalizing certain conversations, even when they are not leaders within the ministry or what, like celebrities or idols or what, when they come out and talk about HIV, or even say I'm HIV positive, just like Philip Bongole did, it also helps because it encourages another person out there to think, oh, I'm not indifferent, I'm not a unique being who just got this disease alone. We are many. So I think we need to work together, not only the government, but even all of us, even us as an individual. The change starts with you. Yeah, each individual, if you do something and stop discriminating, then we are working towards change. We all need to work together.
You were once Mr. Y+. Then what motivated you to come out and contest to become Mr. Y+? Because one of the hardest things, somebody of your age can come out and say, I'm HIV positive, I want to contest for this. Remember, like, it attracts media. People are going to look at you and call you, come and have this interview. How hard was it for you when you came out and said, I'm going to contest for this? How did the family look at you and most of people around you?
I want to say we have stories. We have stories. Yes. So my story pushed me to contest for this. I really wanted that platform that I can use to extend my communications. Initially, I was doing this, but I was doing it at a lower pace because I started doing advocacy around my school. This was the time when my girlfriend was told that I was HIV positive by my real friend in the hostel, and the rumor circulated in the whole school. I had no option. I was left alone. Apart from to go in the assembly, I say, today I want to be HIV positive.
Break the silence.
Yes, break the silence. So I told them I'm HIV positive, but I want your support. I'm not going to die. That's what my doctor told me. I'm not going to die tomorrow or the other day, but I can live as long as I take my medicine. So what I want you to support me more, so my roommates, whenever I feel like I've forgotten to take my medicine, remind me, please. And then I broke all the silence. The conversation ended. Instead it became what? Supportive. I realized I have a lot to do. Then I started with school. Every Monday I could do an assembly, a session at least. Then I moved. I grew up in a facility setting. That I was raised by a facility. I didn't have an opportunity to be so much with my parents. So I was raised in a facility setting. So I used to do the peer educations, what. I was taken in the whole process or in the whole system of the Ministry of Health and the community ground. I worked as a ADFLF, I worked as a community linkage, I worked as a, nowadays they call them what? expert clients in the facility. Now I transformed into a peer educator, I transformed into a youth mentor. So by this came, I was already prepared for it. So I'd done the community ground, I'd established myself in the community, so I wanted an national platform, and it was my drive. So I kept on telling people, even when I came to contest, I wanted this. I remember when I went to Bali for the auditions in the Eastern, I told the people I found, I told them, you know what, I've come to pick this, please, allow me. I go with it. Remember I traveled from Jinja, but I went and I picked it in Bali. Even the same thing when we came here at the national, we were here down here. I told the people, we were within the boot camp, I told them, you know what it is? I wanted this. None of you need it more than me. And I want it. Just like the story you have behind normally.
No one is going to tell the story unless you come up and say your story. Then when it comes to Sheila, like we have seen very many, even old people, elderly people who are above your age, when they tell them they have HIV, the fact that what comes in their mind is death.
Yes.
Because you start thinking of yourself, like you see yourself people taking you like for burial. Like, have you ever sat down and thought about that? Has it ever came across you?
Yes, actually. Because the time I found out I was HIV positive, I was 8. Yeah, I was 8 years old. And it didn't come from my mom. Because that was the year my mom died. And I never really got to know my dad. So I was at the facility. By then we had a choir. So we had gone to UBC. We were with Esezomto. She was also there with WBS and everything. So they were interviewing us. I was the youngest amongst them all. But I had them talking about Septrin. By then we were all taking Septrin, I'm quite sure. So I looked at her and I asked her, why are you talking about the drugs I take? Because I used to read every pallet I get. She told me, I thought you know. Those people taking Septrin are HIV positive. I looked at her, I looked at myself. I caught my choir master by the hand. I told him, I want to talk to you. I told him, am I going to die? He asked me, why have you said that? I told him, oh, they've just told me I have HIV, meaning automatically I'm going to die in the next few days or weeks. Then he asked me one important question, have you died yet? You've been with it since you were born, have you died? So starting from that moment on, I just pushed the whole thing down. And whenever I talk to someone who actually wishes to die or has a death wish of some sort, just because they feel the burden of taking their drugs is too much on them, I just try my level best to encourage them, to make them realize that their life is worth living and not just giving up just because you have HIV. HIV is just a disease. It does not define who you are. It does not tell you when to die, what time to die, and it doesn't tell you, oh, you're going to kill so-and-so just because you love them. No. HIV is just a disease that we all just have to combine together and fight. So I push that mentality back, way back. I don't even know where it is in my body.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
Then it comes to Bridget. How best do you think you can easily support young people with HIV in that we push this message so it goes further?
One is from our organization, Uganda Youth Adolescent Health Forum. One is we could arrange a research with people living with HIV, young people especially, and then find out from them how they are being treated when they go to the health facilities, how are the health workers, what's their approach, do they feel comfortable, are they happy, what about the stock of the medicine, is it there? So we could start by having a background research, so because since we are an advocacy organization, we have to work with evidence. So the way we can support them is by having that research, getting the background data, and being able to use it to influence decision making. That would be the best way to support them, because if it comes to any policy or any particular change they need, and we are able to have background data to help them influence that decision, I think that would be good. Yeah.
When it comes to you, like you said, you were like expert client. What is the causes young people to default from medicine or not come for their medicine? What is the cause?
The cause, young people, the biggest challenge they have, failure. And the moment you work upon that, nothing will stop you from taking. Yes, there are other factors, but the main factor is failure acceptance.